All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. Yes, we are back. I love it. I love seeing Johnathan just bop his head to the music. It's the best. I get all G'd up, and I know I'm going to have a fantastic show with the boys as soon as I see that. It's big, boys. It's big. Tomorrow this time, the lineup will be out, and we'll be preparing ourselves for a massive match. And we're almost nearly 24 hours away from Champions League kicking off again for us. First of all, before I get to everything, shout out to everyone that's joining, and shout out to everyone that will join in throughout the stream and down the track as well. Thank you for each and every one of you guys always taking the time and coming along and supporting the channel and supporting the boys. First of all, Patrick, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Miz. Thanks for having me back on, and happy to be on with Mark and Jonathan and yourself as well. And looking forward to the big games that we love to see, right? So looking forward to tomorrow.
Brilliant. Thank you, heaps. Actually, I had Dan McCarthy, who is, was meant to join us, but he's had some work commitments coming up late. And thank you to Patrick coming in as an emergency straight away, which has been this is what Chelsea community is about. You can give them a buzz and they're here, ready to support. So thank you, Patrick, for that. Mark, my man, it's been a few weeks. We haven't seen you in the channel. You are back again. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm happy to be back, man. I've been so busy, but really happy to be back with you guys. Also with Patrick that's joining us today. I'm buzzing, man. Can't wait to talk about this.
Brilliant, man. I'm so glad to have you back as well, man. The channel missed you. Honestly, it did. Johnathan, my bro, we had a very good show. Yes, I learned a lot about Atletico Madrid. How's things, my man?
Whilst Boris is road mapping the lockdown measures easing at 7 o'clock UK time, we are here, Atletico Madrid Chelsea preview. What's more important, I've clearly shown, because, it's here. We're on Miz's channel, other side of the coin. I'm buzzing for this game. As you said, yesterday we talked a lot about Atletico Madrid. Today's the focus on Chelsea ahead of tomorrow's game. I'm buzzing.
Brilliant. Let's get this show rock and rolling, guys. I'm excited. But first of all, it's a negative news. So I don't know how excited you guys will be with this particular news. It caught me. I woke up, literally about an hour and a half ago. And the very first news I saw in the press conference was that Thiago Silva is out. So that was a bit of a downer for me. Anirudh, thanks for joining, my man. This guy's always there. I just needed to shout him out. Namaste, Miz. Thank you so much, man. Straight out from India. Thank you. It's great. We've got fans all over the world. This is brilliant. Patrick, I'll go to you first up. Thiago Silva not being in the team. I don't know about you, but it worries me a lot. I know we're going to talk about Andres Christensen as being the replacement. I get that. But yesterday we had a really good top show with Jack Benson, who's an Atletico Madrid fan. You were there, I think, part of the show in the live chat. And, Jack's lineup showed that he's predicting that he'd probably have Suarez, Felix, Llorente in the right wing back, Lemar, Koke, Saul. They've got a very, very strong team. We've already seen without Thiago Silva against Southampton, we've let in our first open play goal. How much does that bother you, not having Thiago Silva against one of the toughest teams in Europe?
Miz, it bothers me a lot. And it's not just for what he brings on. It's not just for what he brings in terms of skill on the field. It's the leadership that he brings. You need someone in these big Champions League ties that's been there, that's a winner. And that's exactly what Thiago Silva is. He was just in the Champions League final last year with PSG. So we know exactly what he brings to his side. And to not have, I think we also saw in the last game against Southampton what happens when you don't have like a leadership void in the back, because if Zuma had someone like Thiago Silva there, I don't think that goal happens. So I think that leadership void is going to be missed. Someone better fill it if we want to leave Bucharest with a good result.
No, I agreed, man. The likes of Suarez, Felix, honestly, I'm assuming Christensen will start. I'll go to Johnathan next up. Look, obviously, no Thiago Silva. That leaves a bitter taste, man. I know Christensen hopefully will come in. Anyone besides Christensen, if we see Zuma in the middle, you're worried, right, Johnathan?
Yeah, Christensen's the one that can ball play. You know, we all talk about that ball playing centre back has been in the middle of the three, and I don't think anyone else can play that. I don't think Azpilicueta's quick enough. Okay, you know, it's great to have his leadership skills, Azpilicueta, but it's nowhere near Thiago Silva in terms of organisation, in terms of getting men in positions. Because like Patrick said, you know, that goal probably wouldn't have happened with Thiago Silva. I'm not going to say that won't ever happen, but the gap between Zuma and Azpilicueta, I mean, I highlighted it on my Twitter earlier with a picture, just too much. And we can't afford to allow players like Lemar, Felix, Suarez, that sort of space. So it is a big miss. And yesterday I made a shout to say I had a feeling he was going to be fit. Shame he isn't, but I've now got of the mindset that, you know, I saw this at sort of 2:00 when the conference came out. So I've had a bit more time to digest it than yourself, Miz. Yeah. And I've gone, you know what? Christensen's been okay there. You know, we've had Rudiger and Azpilicueta next to him. So we've got, it's not a completely fresh defence that we've had to now have as a makeshift because Silva is out. But yeah, obviously it's not what we wanted. But yeah, it's I definitely proves my point on Saturday as well that I said Christensen was maybe rested with this tie in mind, and obviously now he's probably going to come and slot in the middle of the defence.
Yeah, now Mark, the thing about Thiago Silva that I really enjoy in the middle portion is not just his ability, you know, the leadership ability that Patrick and Johnathan has mentioned, and also Johnathan has mentioned in regards to his ball playing ability. What I like in his defending style as well, that when he defends, he always tries to find a Chelsea player so that he just doesn't, you know, clear the ball anywhere and everywhere. He tries to clear it in a manner that it will go towards a Kovacic or a Jorginho or an Azpilicueta, whoever else. Like, he tries to find a player and retain possession with defending. I don't think I've seen another Chelsea defender do that level of defending. I mean, up against Atletico Madrid, who are going to have some supreme players up front, does this worry, or you feel confident that perhaps Andreas Christensen, this is the night of all nights that he needs to step up?
Well, clearly we're going to miss Thiago Silva. I mean, that's a fact. That's why even though we bought him for free, that's why he's at Chelsea for games like tomorrow night. It's a drag that he can't be there. I'm not too confident on Andreas Christensen, if I'm honest. I do agree with what Johnathan has said as well. We've seen him there. He hasn't done bad in the middle of the three, but, you know, I can't see how he won't be bullied by someone like Luis Suarez tomorrow, you know?
Yeah.
I just don't think...
Just ghosting behind him and, you know, just...
Yeah, I think it's physical. It's something like physically and mentally, Luis Suarez is at another level, you know, if you compare him to Andreas Christensen. So I'm not that confident that we will be able to stop him. I mean, as we said, we're going to miss Thiago Silva, but bear in mind as well that they've got the same problem with Jose Maria Gimenez.
Yeah.
You know, Jose Maria Gimenez and Savic are maybe the best couple at CBs right now in La Liga. So that's an important blow for them as well. I just hope we can take our chances and just be good in the final third, which we haven't been lately.
No, man, 100% understand. It's a very good point that you said that they've got similar issues in the center of the CB situation. They have been playing three at the back as well. Jack Benson yesterday was saying that they'll probably bring in Felipe in the middle of that three CBs, and he's not very confident about Felipe at all. Thinks that he's definitely error prone. So yeah, similarly, we've got issues. They've got issues in terms of the characteristics that they have at the back. Just quickly before I touch about the other points now, Mark, what's the vibe at the moment in Spain? I know you're living there in Madrid. You live in Madrid or Barcelona? No, you live in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Barcelona. Yeah. I mean, what's the local journalist talking about this particular tie?
You know, I was waiting for this question, and I've been preparing for this question.
I'm a journalist, bro. I'm a journalist.
No, honestly, I've been for 2 days trying to read everything I can about Atletico Madrid news. I've actually got one of my very good friends. He's not an Atletico Madrid, he's Real Madrid, but he's quite into any sports news, and I've been talking with him as well. You know, the feeling they've got over here is quite positive. I mean, positive for them, I think. And, you know, they are an experienced team. They know that. The fans know that. They feel, you know, when we draw Atletico, it was like, oh no, that was the one that I didn't want to draw with.
Yeah.
But for them, what they thought is, well, it's not that bad. It could be worse, you know?
Yeah.
So
it's a complete contrast.
Yeah, exactly. So they are quite confident. They're doing really good this season, although they're having a bad run of conceding goals right now. Actually, I read yesterday it's the worst run since the Simeone era, but when it comes to conceding goals. But then you've got, as I said before, Luis Suarez, which is the main goal scorer in the La Liga this season. They're playing the same system that we're playing as well, which, you know,
three at the back.
Three at the back. And they've been playing this for quite a long time. So they know what they're doing, you know. So, yeah, I think, and they also know that Chelsea is basically a brand new team that's been made for this season, you know, with Werner, Havertz and all the signings. So they don't expect much issues at the moment.
Yeah, no, fair play, man. Let's move on to the next topics. Patrick, I'll go to you. The other big talking point since the Southampton game has been the whole topic about Callum Hudson-Odoi being subbed off, subbed on, subbed off. The fan base have been in pandemonium, not understanding what was going on. They were sort of thinking, well, there were other players that were probably not playing well in that particular match. Why the necessity to take Callum off? Kudos to Thomas Tuchel to be very, very upfront in the press conferences since then, saying he didn't like the energy, he didn't like what he wanted out of Callum Hudson-Odoi, and these sort of things happen sometimes, and he made a change. So he wasn't beating around the bush one bit. He came out and he said what it was. A lot of people were sort of be weary. How does a youngster take that kind of news publicly? I mean, that is a bit embarrassing, humiliating in front of millions that are watching. So I suppose the question is, do you expect Callum Hudson-Odoi to start? I personally think he should start if we play with the whole wing backs again and three at the back, which I'm assuming we will continue doing that. He needs to go back in that right wing back spot because I feel like he was in his element every time he played that particular position. Thomas Tuchel has mentioned that every time he started well. The issue is that when he comes off the bench, he doesn't like, a couple of times he's now came off the bench and he hasn't liked his performances. Do you think Thomas Tuchel might just try him again off the bench just to see his mentality, how he copes again? Or do you feel he will get the nod and start?
I actually think he's going to get the start. I think Thomas Tuchel even kind of alluded to that, post-match against Southampton. He said he might start. So I think he will go into that right wing back role. I also saw in the press conference that he said that the way he addressed the Cho situation was that he didn't pull him aside one-on-one. He actually addressed the issue in front of the entire team. So, he said that Cho had a smile on his face and seemed to have the right mentality about it and that it was forgotten. So, so I think credit to both sides for kind of how they're handling that. At least ideally, I hope that's how it's going on. So, yeah, I think that we're going to see Cho starting at right wing back.
Yeah, I really hope he does actually, Patrick, because once again, Jack Benson, the one player he said that he's worried about from a Chelsea point of view, he was sort of saying Callum Hudson-Odoi's pace will be very much a threat against Atletico's defense, which, as Mark has mentioned, is a bit lightweight at the moment. They don't have their proper right wing back and left wing back at the moment because in the left, I believe Yannick Carrasco is generally playing, and in the right, it's Kieran Trippier. None of those players are available. And then obviously Gimenez is not there as well. So someone like Callum Hudson-Odoi could really focus on that right wing back overload and really cause some damage. Johnathan, your thoughts about this whole media trying to? I mean, should we just get over this now, or is there a story to be had in this situation?
Look, I like Tuchel's honesty. The fact that he's come out and challenged him, in my opinion, I see it as a good thing. If you're not happy with a player and you feel like he's one of the key components of this Tuchel setup, challenge him. If you don't like what you've seen, fair enough. You deal with him how you want to deal with him. You're the manager and the buck stops with you. Obviously, he wasn't very happy with that 1-1 result. You could tell he was trying to change things because he knew we weren't good enough. So I have no problem with him bringing Abraham off, bringing Hudson-Odoi off, because he clearly feels that Hudson-Odoi is someone that he can push and make better. So why not challenge him? I hope he does react well. I mean, there's rumours that, like Patrick said, that he's taking it on the chin and that he could now start this game. And Tuchel kind of talked about the fact that he hasn't been as good on the subs bench. So why would you then risk bringing him off or bringing him on as a sub in a big game? Start him at right wing back, where he's been one of our best players since you've come in, and kind of let leash and let him show everyone how good he is. I think a little bit of a blowout by the media, as always. There was always something to focus on, and I think it did kind of detract away from our performance, those comments. So again, I'm not so sure. Maybe it was a slight ploy by Tuchel, but he's so honest. That's why you can't really have a dig at him. So yeah, we've seen in the past rumours of Hudson-Odoi's attitude problems. Apparently, again, this is all rumours, not something I like to talk about. But if Tuchel's identified that and said, look, this needs to be nipped in the bud, and you can be a great player, have at it. I have no problem with that. And he's not the first manager to dig players out in public, and if he's done it already in the dressing room, then it's not really too different. So yeah, I'm hoping he starts at right wing back, because he is key, in my opinion, to this game. Attacking Lodi at the left wing back and attacking the centre backs. It's a makeshift, wing backs and centre backs that we talked about last night. The back five haven't played with each other. There's going to be spaces. Hudson-Odoi is someone that can certainly exploit that.
No, absolutely agreed, man. I think his impact is a necessity on the right wing back or right side for sure, because we saw against Southampton we lacked any sort of creativity in the right side or in the left side. It was really purely based on Mason Mount and Timo Werner, who more Mason Mount in the second half who came alive. But yeah, 100% believe that Callum Hudson-Odoi needs to start. And yeah, guys, let's move on from this. I suppose at the end of the day, Thomas Tuchel has, he's done absolutely the right thing to be open about it, and I hope that is that. Mark, I want to now talk to you about Christian Pulisic and Kai Havertz. They're back in the team against Southampton, bro. I must say, we not having these caliber of players, we look a bit toothless. They have been talking recently about how we haven't been creating enough chances, which is true. I mean, Thomas Tuchel has come in, and defensively we look probably more solid, because obviously we haven't been letting in that many goals. Southampton goal was the first open goal that we've conceded under Thomas Tuchel. We're far better in possession, but we still have the similar sort of issues up front, where we're not creating enough chances for our forward players to do anything. So how important is it, the likes of Pulisic and Kai Havertz being back? Do you expect them to start or make an impact off the bench?
If they do play, I think they'll make an impact from the bench. Those are players, and I will include Ziyech in this as well. These are players that are dynamite up front, but they're dynamite if they're at their best. And the last times we've seen these players play, I have to say that I was quite happy with Havertz, because I did see he was improving a bit, but then he got injured, I think, and that was the end of it. So I haven't seen any of these guys at their best in a blue shirt yet. So not Pulisic. I mean, we did see it last season, but this season at least, I haven't seen anything that if I was to call, I would give them the starting spot for the game, and not against Atletico Madrid. I think those are players that will make an impact from the bench if they do come on.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I think it's a great option to have. Some really good comments from Pre. Pre, thank you for providing these comments. Is mentioned here that CP and Kyle, I think, will not start. Mostly will come off the bench to make an impact. I think it's perfect to have these caliber of players. If we can manage to, I think this is the thing. We need to have a mentality to take this game as deep as possible over the two legs, obviously, and not really just let it go. The worst scenario for us is that, to lose this whole tie in the first leg. We need to be very solid, very compact, and very focused. And then having the ability to bring players like Christian Pulisic and Kai Havertz off the bench, and also Ziyech. Hopefully, Ziyech is in a bit of a mess at the moment, but if we can get the best out of these guys off the bench, that will just mean fantastic. And also, this comment from Pete, good, we have 5 subs. I completely forgot about Champions League having 5 subs. So this could be very, very interesting for us. I don't know Atletico Madrid's how strong their bench is, knowing they're in a bit of a mess with a lot of injuries. So this could be a bit of a benefit for us, knowing that our bench, we've got a lot of firepower. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Thomas Tuchel deploys Kai Havertz, especially. I think Pulisic, we know he's probably going to be one of the inside forwards, but Kai Havertz is someone I'm very interested to see what he does and how he deploys him. Patrick, I want to now talk to you about the double sixes situation. Lots of talk in the fan base about whether Kante starts or Kovacic is going to be his partner, or Jorginho. Who's it going to be? How are we going to play this? Are we going to play counter-attack and have Kante, seek and destroy? Are we going to play possession-based with Jorginho, Kovacic? The fan base is split. You could go one way and get slated massively, or you could go the other way and get slated massively as well. So it's a dangerous path, this topic of double sixes. But I want to throw you straight into the mix. How are you sort of picturing this match? Are you sort of thinking Thomas Tuchel is going to go with the possession base with Kovacic and Jorginho, or is he going to be more conservative and counter-attacking based and go with someone like Kante, Jorginho, or Kante, Kovacic?
Well, it's hard to know with a side like Atletico Madrid, right? I see them in the Champions League as really defensively solid, so I can see them maybe sitting back and letting us have the possession. For that reason, I'm probably going to go Jorginho and Kovacic, which allows us, as you said, Miz, to have that possession-based attack. But, the one thing I've learned about Thomas Tuchel is the minute I think I have him figured out, he throws a wrench in there to kind of mess it up. So because, he's so tactically fluid in the way he does things. So he may see something that I don't, but if I had to pick a side, I'd probably go Jorginho and Kova at this point.
Yeah, I think Jorginho and Kovacic is probably going to start. A lot of people are asking for Kante. I feel like Thomas Tuchel would want some control in this match, and knowing that Jorginho didn't play against Southampton, that's the other thing. And I don't know, as much as Kante looked very good, but that combination of Kante and Kovacic, it compromised Kovacic's game massively against Southampton. I feel he didn't have the greatest game. Jonathan, your thoughts? I know you've got a lot to say about Kante all the time. You do respect him, but you've got, when it comes to that double pivot sort of situation, that always messes with your headspace a little bit. How are you seeing this situation build up against Atletico Madrid?
If I was the manager, I would play 3 in midfield, but I feel like he's going to go with the wing back, so it will be a pivot. So to be honest, I might throw you a curveball. I would actually play Kante Jorginho, because Kante, intercepted so well, moved forward quite well against Southampton. I know it's a different level of Southampton, but they are going to have 1-2 players, sort of Suarez, Felix, if they play Lemar, etc., in that pocket of space. Jorginho and Kovacic, will they cover it as well? Probably Kovacic, but I feel like Jorginho will sit a bit better and allow Kante to kind of go around and intercept. And I just feel like in a big away game in the Champions League, if you're not going to go with the 3 in the middle, I just feel like he may start Kante. Obviously, Jovic, Jorginho Kovacic, the partnership has been good under Tuchel. It's been the possession one in an away game where we'll probably have more possession, which going on Atletico Madrid's games against the bigger teams this season, they do allow the other teams to have more of the ball. And you look at the suspended or the possible suspended players, Jorginho and Kovacic, both one booking away from missing the second leg. So do you risk starting both of them in a possession base? I know this is probably the more important game because it's the away game, first leg where we need to make sure we're still in the tie. But maybe do you throw Kante in there? Obviously, Jorginho was rested, I'd say, against Southampton as well. So I think it's Jorginho and then Kante or Kovacic. I don't think it's Jorginho on the bench. So, yeah, I just feel like he may start Kante just for that element of movement. And then you bring on Kovacic 60, 70 minutes, not only to progress the ball up the pitch, but then to just add a bit more energy, which I know Kante can do as well. So if he was to start Kovacic, Kante will come on and add that dynamism as well and just shore up the midfield. But, yeah, if you're not going to go through at the start, let's try Kante. Probably not the answer you thought I was going to say, to be fair. But
I didn't, but Maldini's middle finger really likes that. Bravo, Jonathan. That's not bad.
I gave it a lot of thought. And to be honest, I really want to see us switch to a back four. I get last sort of 24, 48 hours, I've really thought about the formation. I know he's doing this 5 at the back to accommodate the way we are right now, probably until the end of the season. But it's just shown, I've watched extended highlights for all of our games under Tuchel. We are not, in terms of output in the attacking third, we are nowhere near good enough. I know we're early days, but we've got to take away a centre-back because if we go to 4, let's say we played 4-3-1-2 tomorrow or 4-3-2-1, Jorginho can come and sit as that extra centre-back if you want him and if you need him to. He's done it in so many games. So you're effectively out of possession, you're a 5, in possession, you're a 4. So I wouldn't be surprised if we evolved to that at the end of the season, towards the end, or maybe next season. So, yeah, I want to see it, but I feel like we will stick with the 5 in this game and obviously match up Atletico Madrid. So, yeah, curveball I've thrown you there, Miz. Always keeping you on your toes. But, yeah, I've given a lot of thought. So,
you know what? Look, I think we should evolve into what you've just said down the track. I just can't see it happening tomorrow. As you've said, something like that needs a lot more training, a lot more, maybe a preseason for that to sort of develop. I completely understand. I don't always want to play with the 3 at the back, so hopefully we do evolve. Mark, really good comment here from Pre. Also, guys, talk about the yellow card situation. J5 Cover Mount, 1 card away from the ban. This, once again, Pre, honestly, you should be in this stream right now. You're bringing out some proper conversation points. I haven't thought about this. This throws a bit of a curveball as well in the sense that J5 Kovacic, if they're both playing, and I feel like this is a match one of them probably could get a yellow card, knowing Atletico could get us on the break and there could be a technical foul here. And then one of them could get a yellow card, and that could mean that they're not available for the home leg, which I feel is going to be very important that we control the match in the home leg. I feel like we need to be possession-based. Maybe the away leg, probably not so, as Johnathan was saying, Kante could possibly start. What do you think about this one? Does this change your outlook a little bit with how the double sixes may look, knowing that Jorginho and Kovacic is just a card away from being banned?
I think it's a great comment from Free. Just to complete it a bit more, I don't know if you guys know that the referee tomorrow is the German Felix Brich or Brich. I don't know how to say it.
Is this guy a bad guy? Has he done Chelsea before?
No, he's done Atletico Madrid a lot of times. And this guy throws yellow cards like this, So, yeah. So I'm telling you, we have to be careful. I mean, this guy is quite severe when it comes to giving cards, and we have to be careful. I do agree with what Johnathan said. It's a big risk to put Kovacic and Jorginho in there if they do have the 4 yellow cards already. So, and going back to what you guys were talking before, for me, I would play Kante any day. For me, it's a no-brainer. If I could, I would do what Johnathan said as well. I would play 3 in the middle. But as you said as well, Miz, I don't think tomorrow's the day for that change. I don't think Tuchel's going to do it. But, I just don't want possession tomorrow, to be honest. Give the ball to Atletico, because if we lose the ball, this guy's, for me right now, they are the best team in Europe when it comes to counter-attack football. Like, name me just one team that are better than them doing that. And
they press and they counter so well.
That's the thing. And, if we're going to try and have control of the ball, every time we lose the ball tomorrow, I'm going to have a heart attack because I know what's coming. So if having Kante in the team means that we're not having as much possession, then bring him on. That's
I'd just say one thing about counter-attacking. Lost 2-0 to Leicester, albeit a different manager. Hopefully Tuchel has understood the weaknesses of this Chelsea side, because we have been susceptible in the past, and they've got quick players. Atletico Madrid, they can certainly hurt us. So 72 cars in all competitions. Wow, that is a lot.
I hope this referee is watching Atletico tomorrow as well.
I think they've got Lodi and Savic that are susceptible to being banned as well. And obviously both will probably start. So Lodi, you take away that guy in left wing back, who on earth are they going to play there? So that'd be interesting. Hudson-Odoi versus Lodi. So
that'd be tops. And also Savic as well. Timo Werner can try and sort of, really play his pace game. Could possibly get a draw card from there as well. Anyway, thank you so much for that comment, man. Truly appreciate these stats. Love this live chat, man. These guys are smarter than us, honestly. Thank you so much. We are just trying to fill in for you guys. But let's. I wanted to bring this particular comment. This caught my eye a little bit. 3-1-4-2. Jorginho behind Kante and Kova. Pulisic left wing back, Hudson-Odoi right wing back, Werner and Mount up top. That looks like a devastating lineup. I think Johnathan was talking about this lineup not that long ago, having someone like Callum Hudson-Odoi as the left wing back, having someone on the right wing back, and really play them as wingers, and then allow the double sixes and the 3 to be defending, and the other 5 just go out there and attack. So there you go, Johnathan. There are crazy people like you out there thinking the same thing.
The other side of the coin, we're taught to think differently here. So always challenging the norms.
Absolutely. Now, next up, Patrick. This particular player, one of my favorite players of Chelsea Football Club. It is none other than Marcos Alonso, the enigma. Tomorrow, this guy, I don't know, man. I don't know how the live chat feels about this. Against Southampton, and not just against Southampton, I think everyone will agree. Marcos Alonso, the only reason, and let me know, live chat, why you like Marcos Alonso. I feel like the only reason Marcos Alonso is loved in our fan base is because of his clutch goals. I don't think you can appreciate him in defending. I don't think you can appreciate him with his passing ability. I don't think you can appreciate him with his pace. Yes, he's done a lot of good stuff for us previously. Under Antonio Conte, won us the league, FA Cup, and all sorts. And I thank him for all of that. That was an absolute revelation under Antonio Conte, the 3-4-3, and Marcos Alonso played a massive role in that. Appreciate that. But Marcos Alonso's days now. This is not something that we should be hyping about at the moment. He's doing a good job since Tuchel has come over. But do you expect him to start, Patrick, tomorrow against Atletico Madrid, knowing that Chilwell hasn't really been impressive either? And when it comes to a left wing back position, Chilwell doesn't seem to be favoured either. So how do you see this? I feel like our left side is severely impacted in terms of attack. Clutch goals, fair enough, but in terms of attack, we don't get much out of it.
Well, I'm gonna do like Johnathan did earlier and throw you a curveball. I'm gonna go with Chilwell because Alonso for me is like a cat. He's had 9 lives worth of chances to where he's not been good enough. He has the one he has the one game where he's absolutely where he'll score that goal, and then he'll have like the next 4 or 5 appearances he'll do virtually nothing, because to me,
so he's due for a goal. What you're thinking is due for a goal then?
Yes. If he plays, it'll be classic Alonso to score a goal. That's exactly what would happen. But I would pick Chilwell for a couple reasons. First of all, I think he's a better crosser he has a better delivery than Alonso. Second of all, I think he's better going forward than he gets credit for. I'm not saying I'm not saying he's a world beater at it, but I would say that he's better than he gets credit for. Also, I think we need some kind of defensive solidity for someone that can get back and actually defend. And for me, Marcos Alonso is not that. So, so I think he can offer just enough going forward, but also offers a little bit more defensive solidity. And I recognize he's not been as great recently, but I guess I'm of one of two minds. I could definitely see Thomas Tuchel starting Alonso, but if you ask me who I want, I would definitely pick Ben Chilwell.
No, that's quite logical how you're sort of thinking that. It seems like Alonso will probably start, and looks like the live chat is probably agreeing with that. But I understand that your preference would be Chilwell because of the reasons that we've mentioned. Just quickly to you as well, Johnathan, in this particular regard, that left side with Alonso, as you've seen in the live chat, a lot of people are saying that he's got the eye for a goal. He knows how to get into the box. And that's pretty much what he's very good for, and I'm thankful for that. But anything else that's not his game, or is not really part of it, and it severely impacts our left side. How do you see this picture? And not just that. The other thing that I want to talk about, Johnathan, is that tomorrow he will have to have some defensive qualities, because Atletico Madrid, I think in the right side, Lorente, as Jack Benson was saying, that if they do continue with the three at the back and the wing backs, he expects perhaps Lorente to play as the right wing back. And Lorente is one of the more extremely dangerous players that they have in Atletico. He's the one who did Liverpool last season. Our fan base have been talking about Lorente as well. When I said about Lemar, a lot of them replied back to me saying, no, it's Lorente that we need to be focused on. Defensively, are you worried with Alonso on that left side?
It's all about his appetite for this game, Tuchel. Does he want to go there? Does he want to win the game? Does he want to kind of get an away goal and get a draw? Does he want to be attacking? Does he want to be defensive? I think that decision will decide whether Alonso plays or not. If you want to be attacking, Alonso plays as pretty much a left winger, left forward. If you want him to occupy the space in the right wing back, the right centre back role, and test Atletico Madrid's makeshift defence, you play Alonso. If you want someone who's going to be in the box to score goals, you play Alonso. If you want to be more shored up defensively, have someone that's going to track runners and not sort of jog back, you probably play Ben Chilwell or Emerson. We forget as well. Yeah. He may go for someone a bit more defensively sided, but just looking for, experience under Tuchel, I want to see some changes. I want to see us mix it up. But again, I go back to the point which we've all discussed in this game, in such an important away game, in the Champions League. We haven't, won a knockout game for so long. We haven't gone past the round of 16s, since 2014, I think it is. Is he going to risk all of that and risk the setup that he's been playing at the moment? I'm not so sure. So my money would probably be on Alonso just because of the attacking output. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised for Chilwell or Emerson. So yeah, what do you want to be, Tuchel? Do you want to be brave? Do you want to go and attack them? Or are you going to be a little bit more defensively minded, especially without Thiago Silva? So, there's a lot of talk about the three that we played in the Barcelona 2017-18 season, Christensen, Rudiger and Azpilicueta. We haven't moved on, etc. This is necessity. It's not the lineup that we're choosing because, those are the guys we want there. It's through necessity, really. So we have evolved. We haven't got Willy Caballero behind them this time. We've got Edouard Mendy, who's a lot better keeper. So, it's just, it's what you prefer as Tuchel, as I said. For me, I would put my hat on it and say Alonso. I think he gets a lot of stick. Look, he is an attacking player. He's a wing back. He is someone that plays this system. Some people don't like Jorginho. He's a player that suits certain systems. If you play him as a left back, Alonso, probably not going to be very good. But if you play him as a left wing back and allow him that freedom to go forward and attack and join attack and get in, get in the box at will, he'll provide. But in a game which is going to be tactically scrutinized by both managers, is he a liability? So yeah, I'm not giving you a firm answer because I'm really interested in the psyche of Tuchel. But yeah, for me, don't be surprised if Emerson comes out of the four as well, if he wants to be more defensive.
Now, fair play. Massive shout out to almost 50 people that's joined us. Honestly, this live chat has been buzzing today. I'm really appreciating this. The boys are appreciating this. So kudos to you guys. Smash that like button. Get it to at least 50 likes, guys. Help this channel out. Really good commentary from Yusuf. Once again, another top supporter of this channel. I think Chile would start because Thomas probably is aware of Atletico's counter abilities, but Marcos might also play to maybe use his height in defending, attacking, and for a bit of more clinicalness. Once again, that whole comment, it's sort of like he understands if Chilwell starts, understands if Alonso starts, much like what Johnathan was saying as well. Let's move on to the next thing with Mark, the striker situation. As we said, we're going to cover all of Chelsea talking points before we talk about some Atletico situation. Mark, there's a lot of issues in our striking department, man. Tammy Abraham has been twice removed at halftime by Thomas Tuchel. A lot of people want to talk about how, Tammy's stats and goal involvement and all of that. Look, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not slating him. I'm not slandering him. He's a very good player. The thing about Tammy Abraham for me is it always feels like he's a secondary player. He just doesn't seem like someone who can just take that, top striker position from Chelsea and really own it, right? That's why we've been seeing chopping and changing all the time. So I don't know how much Tammy Abraham will start this, knowing that he was already taken off halftime against Southampton. And once again, Thomas Tuchel's reasoning was he didn't like the energy. He didn't like the way Tammy was playing, so he took him off. It wasn't anything to do with injury at all. Giroud, for me, probably starts in this game with probably Timo Werner just behind him. But with Giroud as well, I feel like he's starting to really slow down now. I mean, his quality is still there. Don't get me wrong. He's still got the great link up. He's still a fox in the box at this age. But do you sort of understand why we are linked with Haaland at the moment, Mark?
Yeah, especially since Werner hasn't adapted completely yet. So, we don't know how long it's going to take, although I think his start to the Premier League has been quite good, if I'm honest. I think he's getting to unnecessary stick. But, I can see why we're linked to Haaland. And I think it's normal for any big club as well, big club with money that can spend. I think everyone will be linked with Haaland. Look at Manchester City or, I don't know, Real Madrid, They all want this player. So I think that's normal. But
Man United as well. I think Man United is gunning for Haaland too.
Yeah. But, for me, going back to your question, I think that Giroud and Werner should start. Or if you're going to start Christian Pulisic, I don't know what Tuchel's going to do, but if that's his idea, then I want to see Timo Werner up front, especially because I want us to counter-attack, and that's the man that you want up front to counter-attack. You don't want Giroud as much as I like him, but I don't think that's a quality for him. So, when it comes to Tammy Abraham, we spoke about this, Miz, in a few tweets that we crossed. This guy, I love him, and especially he was our main striker last season. He did everything he could, and I'm always going to be grateful for that. He's one of us. He's from the academy. I love the guy. But, he does have some attitude problems, and I don't mean off pitch. I mean in the pitch. Like, for example, he's so big and he gets bullied so easily.
That annoys me so much, bro. That annoys me.
What do you think that Atletico Madrid are going to do tomorrow? Because Atletico Madrid is not a clean team. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're quite dirty, and that's their play. Fair play to them. It's fine. It's part of the game as well. But Tammy Abraham's not the one that I want up front. Not for tomorrow, at least. So.
100% agree. It's a very good point that you said, and I've tweeted this, and I've tweeted this, and you've interacted in those tweets where I know people can shout out and say, "Oh, that should have been a penalty," this and that, but I just feel like Tammy, for such a tall guy, well-built, structured guy, he shouldn't be bullied by centre-backs. He should be bullying them, much like what Diego Costa and Didier Drogba used to do. He needs to be putting out there and putting his body out there and really muscling them off so that he opens himself up for the shots. Even against Newcastle, Lascelles came in with a big tackle, but I feel like had he just covered himself a little bit, maybe he gets himself a penalty. You never know. Like if he positions himself in a way where, he knows that the tackle is coming, perhaps he gets a penalty. It's little details like that I feel Tammy can use his body a lot better. And someone like Timo Werner ends up getting so many penalties because of his pace. He knows I can utilize my pace in the box, so I'm going to try and get some penalties. Tammy can do that with his body. And I feel like sometimes he just doesn't do that. And this whole excuse about, he's still young. When are we going to stop this young conversation? He's going to be 24 this season. So that conversation needs to stop. And look, once again, as I said, I'm not having a go at Tammy. I think he's still a good player there. But in order for him to become Chelsea's number one, he has to do a lot more than just show the stats that he has at the moment. Really good commentary from Rafa Javed. Once again, Rafa, thank you so much for joining. Another great supporter of the channel. Tammy versus Savic will be paying to watch. We must start Havertz as F9 and bench Warner as well, since he struggles versus low box. Yeah, look, I just want to quickly talk about this Havertz F9 because I've been sort of talking about this. I'll go to Patrick first up. Patrick, Kai Havertz, since he's joined, there's been talks about what's his best position, so on and so forth. I feel like this F9 position where he plays as a sort of false striker, false nine, someone who can sort of drop deep, allow the inside forwards to attack the half spaces, and he can manipulate the passes from midfield as well. And then someone who has the ability to drive into the box and finish things off as a goal scorer. Do you feel that's probably a good way to deploy Kai Havertz?
I do. I really like to see him at the false nine role. I think he's proven, and I understand Bundesliga is different from Premier League. I mean, you have different sized defenders and the like, but he's proven that he can score goals, playing that very position. And, and I think one thing we're missing is getting him more involved in the play. Like a lot of times when we played him in roles, he's played so deep that he hasn't really been, I think he's been at his best for us when he's been a part of the attack. I remember link-ups with Callum Hudson-Odoi, link-ups with Timo. I mean, so playing in that false nine role would get him involved in that in link-up play and attack. And he's got such a grace with the ball, and he's got such a good pass. And he's got goals in him. So he'd provide an aerial presence in the box for crosses. I mean, he's already proven he can score goals with headers. And I think that he would just be able to link up play. And, honestly, at a time where our attack's been so toothless, why not give it a try?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I wouldn't be. Look, I think Giroud is probably penciled down to start this, but if he was to throw a curveball, Kai Havertz, maybe even off the bench, hopefully we see that sort of structure happening. Let's move on to that. That's, ladies and gentlemen, that's more of the Chelsea sort of talking points that I wanted to get out. Let's now talk about the forms of both the teams. Johnathan, a bit of a contrast. Obviously, Atletico Madrid has had a very good season. They're top of the La Liga. But in recent times, their form hasn't been that great. Mark has been mentioning that as well, that a little bit, in recent times, Diego Simeone has apparently led in many goals, which is the most during his sort of tenure in such a short space amount of goals that he's led in. Looking at both the teams and the forms, our form as since Tuchel has come in, I mean, yeah, take away the whole Southampton draw, probably wasn't the best performance, but still, it's not a loss. We've not lost under Thomas Tuchel. We've had 5 wins, I believe, 2 draws, and totally different for Atletico Madrid, who's recently had 2 losses, I believe, and a couple of draws as well. How do you see this? I mean, does form really matter, or this is a totally different beast altogether, Champions League?
It matters to a certain extent, certainly, and form and obviously injuries, suspensions, etc. But it is knockout football, and all you need is a couple of games where individual class can come to the fore. Both teams have got that. So, yes, whilst they haven't been as good recently in Atletico Madrid, they've got injuries and they're going to be makeshift. They've still got players that can cause us problems. So, yeah, we talked a lot about it in the preview, and I said it before about their recent goal scoring. A bit the fact that they're just leaking goals, to put it bluntly. I mean, 3 games, I think in the last 7, they've conceded 2 goals in a game. They haven't kept a clean sheet in 7 games. So, yeah, they're giving their opportunities to the opposition sides. And one thing I've noticed, and again, I said this yesterday, so make sure you check out that really good preview, was the fact that they're really susceptible to crosses at the moment. So to talk about your earlier point about who we should play up front, Drew is someone that gets in the box, makes near post runs, but is also intelligent to come out and wait for the ball as well. So bearing in mind they've been conceding goals like that recently, he's probably someone that I would play. So yeah, their form's not been very good, but Simeone knows this game is important. He knows they need to get a positive result. It's not going to be easy to come to Stamford Bridge because their injury issues may not have been rectified. So yeah, they're going to go out as hammer and tong, so to say. It'll play a part for sure, but I don't expect anything less than an Atletico Madrid going 110% at us.
No, 100%. This is a really good comment. I want to talk about this with Mark. Charlie Robinson, thank you for this particular comment. Suarez is a game changer. We have none. We probably, at this moment in terms of form, we probably don't have none. I do want to shout out one player who doesn't get enough talked about. And I just realized in our review, we probably didn't talk about this particular player enough because of the whole situation of how that game turned out. But Mark, Mason Mount. Mason Mount for me has been really, really good. Has been one player that has been fantastic for us throughout this season. The only caveat about Mason Mount is he's a great player, and it's what Thomas Tuchel has said in recently. Some quotes has come out, and Thomas Tuchel said that he's a fantastic player, but even Mount realizes that he needs to be far more decisive in the final third. There's a lot of times where he gets into really good positions, but he just doesn't find that right pass or that right finish, to clean teams up. But yeah, you can see that if he gets into those positions, that's the start. That hopefully down the track, that the decision making will come along the way. But how important? I feel like he's probably one of our most important players coming into this match tomorrow. I tweeted off the back of that Southampton game that he's probably one of the very first few names that Thomas Tuchel puts down in the team sheet, starting lineup, that Mason Mount starts. For us, he's probably the only attacking outlet at the moment that's showing some sort of grit and fight, probably somewhat with Werner as well. But Mason Mount, for me, in that second half against Southampton, really stood out. He was all over the field. So what do you think about, in terms of this particular comment? We don't really have a game changer, which is kind of true, but Mason Mount is someone who sort of gives us that lift, yeah?
Absolutely. Going to the comment, I think it's a really good comment. But, it's true that we have none. Maybe we haven't got none at his best. You know what I mean? Like, we do have game changers. The thing is that they're not in the best form right now. Going back to the Mason Mount. Mason Mount, for me, he's unbelievable player. He's one of the youngest players in the team, and also his fighting spirit that he has. If we had 11 Mason Mounts and not as quality players, but as with that same spirit that Mason Mount has, I would just be happy even if we lose. You know what I mean? Because I know we're going to give it all, and that's the thing with Mason Mount. You can count on him, and especially for European nights, where it doesn't matter if Atletico Madrid, for example, have had a bad run or are in a bad run, but they're going to click that button when the Champions League music starts. And it's a completely different Atletico Madrid than what we've seen in the last 4 weeks.
Absolutely.
And I think Mason Mount has that attitude to click into a European night, you know what I mean? So that's what I hope that all the other players can do. Because if we don't put passion and fight into that game, especially against a team like Atletico Madrid, then it's when we go to the comment of Luis Suarez is a game changer and we don't have any. We have to give it all. That's it. Yeah. We don't need just one game changer. We need 11 fighters. That's it. No,
100% agree that. One thing about Atletico Madrid, they are going to fight till the last minute. They are so dogged in their attitude. And this is what Diego Simeone has created. By the way, Diego Simeone, this will be his 10th season in Atletico Madrid. We were talking to Jack Benson yesterday. So he's created an attitude, I suppose, in that team. And this is one thing that they fight. Yeah. Really funny comment here from Maldini's middle finger. Oh, shout out to Maldini's middle finger. Honestly, this guy comes out with some absolute talkers. He's getting a love bite from Suarez tomorrow. Suarez with his biting attitude. Hopefully he can stop that. Another really good comment from Salafia. Thank you once again, my man, for supporting the channel all the time. Really like how you get everyone involved in the comments too, bro. Appreciate it. Honestly, this live chat, as I said, has been absolutely phenomenal today. That's why I've had to keep them involved. Guys, I want to now quickly talk about some Atletico Madrid news before we do our lineups and formations to finish things off. Just quickly, I'll just read a few things out. Thomas Lemar and Moussa Dembele returned to first-team duties. So they were, I think, out due to the disease. So they're back. So Thomas Lemar and Moussa Dembele will be back. Whether they start, I thought off the back of what Jack Benson said yesterday, Atletico Madrid fan, that he was expecting Thomas Lemar to start, but maybe he won't. Saul, Niguez, and Stefan Savic missed the loss through suspension, so their availability is a boost. So they'll be back and they're available. Kieran Trippier is suspended. Yannick Carrasco and Sime Vrsaljko, I hope I pronounced that right, they are not in the team. Yeah, so those two particular players are not in the team. So that's a big miss, as Jack Benson was saying, that Yannick Carrasco's sort of ability in the I think he plays left wing back, Yannick Carrasco. Johnathan, correct me if I'm right. Does Yannick Carrasco play on the? Yeah, he plays on the left, and Kieran Trippier on the right. So both of those players are not available, which is a bit of a loss for them. Ladies and gentlemen, it's everything that you've been waiting for. Let's get straight into these formations now. I'll go to my main man, Johnathan, first up to see what he lines up. First of all, then I'll go to Patrick. Give Patrick a bit of time to think about how he wants to shape things up, and then I'll go to Mark, and then I'll finish off with mine. Live chat, please let us know how you would set up as well, what you think about our team, just to keep this whole entertainment going. Johnathan, let's go, my man. At the back, obviously, Mendy.
100% Mendy. I'm just so glad when you said main man and then you paused for half a second and then said Johnathan. Oh, made my day.
There's no doubt you're the main man here, bro. You run the channel like.
No, I appreciate. I just love coming on, as I said to you yesterday in our chat. Just love coming on and just speaking Chelsea with you guys, and seeing Patrick smile. You know, that made my day as well when I came on to see him. So, Rudiger left centre back. I mean, I've sort of talked about the back three. I definitely think it will be Rudiger, Andreas Christensen, and Azpilicueta. I don't think he's going to change that. I'm going to go with a side, not that I would want, but that I believe that he will pick. So right wing back, I will go Hudson-Odoi. It's tough to leave James out, but I just feel like having that attacking output with Hudson-Odoi, and obviously after the comments, he will start. I will go with Alonso, as much as I would like to see Chilwell. I just feel like, as I said, this is the side that he will pick. It's not really one that I would particularly go with, because I would like to make some changes, obviously, see four at the back. But I would say Jorginho, and I'm going to say Kante. That's kind of the one that I'm probably going away from, that most people may not agree with. Kante, as I said, I just feel like he will be able to pick up the guys that will occupy, the gaps between midfield and the defence. I will play two behind the main striker, and Timo Werner will continue, in my opinion. He's had a good run of games. He's looked better. I think Southampton was, like the whole team, really, it was kind of a step back for him. But Mason Mount, we've talked about how important he is. And as we discussed yesterday, most opposition teams and fans, they talk about Mount as being, one of the problems. So, yes, I believe Mount's output going forward needs to be better. Sometimes his decision-making, but that's going to come with age. He's quite good, and he's only, 21, 22?
Yeah, this is a very good point, Johnathan. And to the live chats as well, and all the members in this particular panel. Every time we've talked to an opposition fan, they've praised Mason Mount unbelievably. And I get sort of a bit of a shock and awe. I sort of feel that a lot of our fan base, not a lot, there's probably a small minority now, majority do believe in Mason Mount, I must admit. I think it gets blown away a bit too much that, there's a lot of Mason Mount haters. No, I think majority likes him. There is that small portion that still has a bit of a confusion. It's crazy. The oppositions, they really, really rate Mason Mount and his ability. So interesting point. Thank you for that, Johnathan. So up front, who are you going with?
My main man, Olivier Giroud. Just purely because... I've always loved Giroud. Way before that, Dubois, how he pronounced his name, started repping him. I've been Giroud for years and years. But look, that's just kidding, because I know he probably loves him more than me. But Giroud, just for his link-up play, the fact that he will allow players to push up and get us up the pitch, the fact that he will be in the box for crosses. And as I said, that's something that I would target them tomorrow. Balls in the air, balls along the floor. We didn't cross very well at the weekend. As again, a few things on my Twitter where I highlighted our crossing wasn't very good because we didn't have the runners occupying space. Sometimes we've got one man in the box. If you want to score from crosses or from general play, one man in the box isn't good enough. We can't all be like Man City and somehow score in from every other opportunity. So we've got to commit men forward. And this is the team that I believe he will pick tomorrow, minus maybe Kante. He may pick Kovacic. All depends on whether he wants to attack win this game, come back to Stamford Bridge with something to protect, or whether he wants to go there and get a 1-1, which a lot of fans, including myself, would probably take.
No, to be honest, this team, just quickly, ladies and gentlemen, this is Johnathan's team. Mendy at the back, Rudiger, Andres Christensen, Azpilicueta, Alonso, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Jorginho, Kante, Timo Werner, Giroud, Mason Mount. Honestly, I can't see any fault. My only probably change will be in the midfield, but I'll get to my team soon. Patrick, my man. First of all, everyone loves your smile. I just want to do something different here. Let's give a good. There you go, guys. Patrick, there you go. There's a smile. Patrick, let's go and talk about your team now. Are you changing anything here at all, or are you keeping with this? Let's go from the back. Mendy, starts for you, yeah?
Mendy 100%. The back three, I'm not changing anything from Jonathan's lineup because, you can't change the main man's lineup, right? That's certified. So, plus Jonathan speaks so well and he's so good at analysis. It's, following him is always a challenge. Then over at left wing back, again, I'm gonna go along with what Johnathan said. This is who I think he'll play. As you heard from my comments earlier, this is not who I would want, but I'm going to stick with Alonso at left wing back, Cho at right wing back. And I'm going to be accused of flip-flopping, and that is fair because I'll admit I did not know the yellow card situation when I got on the stream. So
maybe man.
So I'm going to go with I like the Jorginho Kante pairing because despite what my comments may have said earlier, I am a massive N'Golo Kante fan. Love the way he can break up play and, to have the Champions League is where you put in your world-class players, right? So I can absolutely see, and I like the pairing with Jorginho because I like having someone at home that can kind of, that positioning to kind of shield the back three. And so I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that double pivot of Jorginho and Kante. And I agree with the 2 10s at the up top with Werner and Mount because to me Mount is absolutely droppable at the moment because his relentless energy, and I know people are going to say but the stats I was talking with my dad after the game yesterday and he made a good point that a lot of times numbers can say whatever you want them to say. There were a lot of there were at least 1 or 2 occasions yesterday where I thought Mount could have had assists from open play, specifically that cross to Reece James that he skied over the bar. So, and it could have been a different result. We could have been having a different conversation today. And that's not a knock on Reece. It's just the way it played out. And then up front, I'm going to go with Dubois and Jonathan's main man, Olivier Giroud.
Nice. So it's pretty much as you were with Jonathan's team. Looks like this is probably the favorite. I'm starting to sway this way as well, but I'm still thinking about it. My bro, Mark, how do you feel about this team? Are you changing anything?
I like it. I was thinking about it, and actually, if I have to change something, it would only be one thing. Let me see. So I would put, as I said before, I would like us to counter attack. So what I would like to see is Werner up front, because I think he can be a big danger if he has space, especially against Savic. I think Werner could do quite well there. And it's his natural position as well. Pulisic, if I'm honest, I'm not too I love him. I saw what he could do last season, but I just don't think he is in form. I would put him to make an impact from the bench, but actually in that position I would put Mason Mount.
Let's have 2 Mounts. Why not? That's probably what
I would have 11, man. Okay, in that spot, I would put Callum Hudson-Odoi. And where Callum Hudson-Odoi is, I would put Reece James. And it's only because I think Reece James is a physical guy. He can cross the ball. He can create some spaces as well. He's good going forward with the ball. And I think Cho needs to really hurt them at counter-attacking. And the thing is that if he's as a right-left wing back, I'm not too sure if Callum Hudson-Odoi defensively can stop the likes of Joao Felix and the rest of the guys.
I think Lodi will be on the left side. So
Lodi, right. So yeah, I think we have a good chance with that.
The only thing I have an issue with this lineup is this position.
That's the one I was thinking
he
about.
doesn't help as a right wing back. I think he's more suited in this position here. If we're gonna sort of expect him to link up front, and what you said that he's crossing. I mean, if he crosses, then I would probably want someone like Giroud and then have Werner just behind him. But yeah, I do understand your whole philosophy about counter-attack, because your whole ideology in this match is that you're not going to hold the ball. You don't want the ball. You want to sort of
I want to counter-attack. Exactly.
Yeah, you want to sort of defensive. But basically what you want is, let's just quickly play this out before I go to my sort of team. Basically what you want is us to sort of be more sort of like this and be resolute in defense, and then have these sort of players really, really work their pace and counter attack. So basically what you want is when the break happens, you want these players to sort of go in, and then someone like RJ to sort of assist with the counter attack, and hopefully Alonso can take up these sort of positions.
Exactly. And especially
sort of become something like this.
Yeah, and when Alonso comes up, Mount can have that number 10 role, you know what I mean? So yeah, that would be perfect for me, if I'm honest.
Yeah, no, I get the ideology. I definitely do. Boys, just quickly before we go to my team, Johnathan and Patrick. I'll go to Johnathan. What do you think about Mark's formation, Johnathan?
Again, it's all about depending on your appetite, really. Does Tuchel want to attack them? Does he want to defend and just see out a draw and take it to the second leg and sort of view it as 180 minutes and getting through the first 90? I can understand why Mark has said this. I just fear for Werner's, especially given his comments recently about big, tall, strong centre backs, if he would be able to match up physically against this Atletico Madrid defence. That would be the only thing. But I get, if you're using his pace, then yeah, it's a counter-attacking side. I get that. And also, just thanks, Patrick, for your comment earlier, by the way. I didn't react to it because I didn't want to interrupt you, but it's very kind. And look, that's why it's great to come on here. And as I said this earlier, just to talk and look at things in a different perspective. And, we aren't the manager. We aren't the guys getting paid to pick the team, but it's always great to explore these options. And Ken, I'm going to say that about the super chat before Miz does. Obviously, thanks for the donation. It doesn't go to me. It goes to, supporting this fantastic channel. But the reason I'm so happy is because you said Alonso slow, and I like Alonso, but Alonso slow always makes me laugh when I see that. So yeah, he was poor, but like we've alluded to, the guy does score goals, and he is inevitable. He's one of those players that turns up on the big occasions. So yeah, I can see that lineup. I get that, and I get why people would want Reece James and Hudson-Odoi further forward, just give them the license to attack. So yeah, my thoughts, interesting. And I'm, we're 23 hours away from seeing the Chelsea lineup. It's highly anticipated, I must say.
No, absolutely.
Also, going to this lineup that I chose, I think it's tomorrow's game. It's the only chance that we have to play this, because if we don't play counter-attack football, and I repeat myself here, we're playing against the best counter-attacking team in Europe. We won't be able to do this for the second leg because they'll wait for us. They lost 2-0 at home against Levante, which Levante, it's not such a bad team, but I don't know, it's not that good. Okay, they're like the low team of Valencia, and they're just good at counter-attacking. Levante is, but if you look at their names, I don't even know one of them. But they're good. They're good at counter-attacking, right? And that's what hurts a team like Atletico Madrid, because they don't want the ball, but in 3 passes they'll score a goal. So at least for the first leg, in my opinion, at least, I would try something like that, because if we get a bad result, we won't be able to do that. at home.
Understandable. Your thought process I completely get in terms of being conservative and trying to attack them with the pace that we have. And that's why, just going back to your lineup, it's full of pace. Werner, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Reece James is no slouch either. Mason Mount is no slouch either. So completely understand. First of all, shout out to Ken Berry. Ken Berry is a massive supporter of Patrick. Patrick, your man, Ken Berry, only subscribe to this channel because you are coming on. So I thank you for that. And shout out for the super chat as well, which Johnathan's already touched on. Any message for Ken Berry, just quickly, Patrick?
Absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity. Ken Berry is my man. He really knows his ball. Ken, thanks for the super chat, for supporting this channel. Miz really does a great job of giving people opportunities. He did it for me. Gave me my first opportunity to come on. And Miz, thank you for that. You always do that, and you're a great member of the community for it. But Ken's just good people. He has really good takes. Go follow him at go follow him on Twitter. He's a growing account, and I honestly think he's got great measured takes, and he's very passionate. He's a New Yorker, so he's very passionate. But I love that about him. So Ken Berry, big shout out to you, my man.
And we need to get more people from United States. Honestly, it's good to have fans from all over the world. But yeah, shout out to Chelsea Blue Flag. Really enjoying the show. Honestly, thank you so much. Everyone's been enjoying it. Now, to wrap things up, here's my lineup, guys. Look, it's probably not going to be too much different to what Johnathan and I suppose Patrick had. I know, completely understand Mark's philosophy as well, but I'm going to take the slightly different route here. Big contention in this spot, but I will stick with Alonso because, as I said, with his clutch attributes, and Chelsea admin, Twitter admin, has been showcasing our last victory against Atletico Madrid. And we remember what Alonso did from this position, putting that ball for Michy Batshuayi and scoring. So, maybe, hopefully, Alonso watched that. I know Alonso is someone who's very, very active in social media, so I'm pretty sure he would have seen what Chelsea Twitter would have tweeted that, and he would have loved that, and hopefully he gets a buzz out of that. So for me, Alonso starts for that clutch attributes of scoring goals. I'm actually going to have Callum Hudson-Odoi on this side because I feel like this is where you get the best out of him. Yes, he does play well in this situation as well, but I think this allows his pace game his pace comes into the game, and that one-on-one sort of attribute that he has to be able to beat a player and then drive in this area. And I think Azpilicueta likes having Callum Hudson-Odoi on the right back, which allows him that overlapping situation, which can also open things up on the right. So for those factors, I would like Callum Hudson-Odoi to be in the right wing back's position. I think Mason Mount here this is his best spot for me in our team. That sort of right sort of inside forward. For me, Mason Mount is perfect in there. I know Mark has said that he would like us to be more conservative and be on the counter. I think Atletico by default may not play that way. They might just be sitting back, and I think it might be Kovacic and Jorginho here. So George on this side and Kovacic, just more of a midfield possession-based control. And this pivot, this 6-6 has worked for us massively since Tuchel has taken over. So I'm talking from that particular reference that's why I'm going with these two. This side, it will be Timo Werner for me, and up front, it'll be Olivier Giroud, which I feel like this gives us a total balance of pace, gives us grit, gives us that crossing ability, and someone who's smart in the box who can sort of step back if need be and sort of allow Timo Werner to occupy these sort of spaces and cross in those areas. And then someone like Giroud can smash it in. And Giroud's link up with Mason Mount could be quite pivotal as well. And then whole thing about Callum Hudson-Odoi. I think personally the way this probably will turn out is very lopsided. I think we're going to be very much a right-sided sort of team where we could see something like this and more sort of like that, and then Alonso somewhere over there. So this is what I'm sort of expecting, very much a right-sided attack, and then Alonso sort of more like a left forward, left winger. So that's pretty much what my team is. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are. just quickly, doing the rounds. Patrick, what do you think about my squad, man?
It's great. I definitely see your point about the about Kova and Jorginho probably being the best pairing if you feel like he's going to be sitting back. He's going to be sitting back. If Atletico Madrid's going to be sitting back, excuse me. And I think that's a great lineup.
No, brilliant. Johnathan, thoughts on this?
Very similar to mine in the sense that you've just got Kovacic and Kante, which I completely understand. That's why we've kind of gone with what we think Tuchel will go with, and I would see this sign up for sure tomorrow night. I can see it being one that's going to at least get a goal. I know we've been a bit short of goals on Tuchel, but a 1-1 is the minimum. I know we're going to go on to predictions in a minute, but I think we need to score a goal. So whatever we do, we have to commit men forward. And Alonso and Hudson-Odoi, they do play in those positions, or if it's Reece James or Ben Chilwell, whoever it is, they need to commit forward and make sure that we double up in certain situations.
No, 100%. Shout out to Shahik One. I hope I pronounced that right. Watching this 4 a.m. in Malaysia. Wow, that's the power of Chelsea Football Club. I mean, the fans are all over the joint. That's brilliant, man. And we've also got here from Said's. I'm from Switzerland. That's brilliant, honestly. Mark, let's get into the whole prediction now to wrap things up. What is your score prediction for this particular match?
I can see.
I know you hate it. You hate the score prediction.
I hate it, man. I would say 2-1 tomorrow.
To Chelsea, obviously.
To Atletico.
Oh no, Atletico. We get that away goal though. That's fair enough.
We get that away goal, and with 1-0 at the bridge, we go through.
I like this though. I think this is very realistic. 1-1. I think a lot of pundits are sort of predicting the 1-1. I'll take the 1-1, but it does keep the tie in the balance. I suppose 1-1 is neither there or here, but it does give us that away goal. Patrick, your score prediction.
Miz, I was just going to tell you too. I'll go 1-1, but I was also going to tell you about the a stat that I loved from the Levante game is in that game, even though Atletico Madrid lost 2-0, if you look at the shot count, Atletico Madrid had 28 shots to Levante's 6. And 11 of those shots were on target versus Levante only having 1 because, Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Mario Hermoso had an own goal in that game. So
it was deflected,
deflected, yeah. So, that doesn't. So even though they lost, that doesn't really scream a team that's necessarily out of form. It may have been bad luck on the day. They were shots off the crossbar, and and everything else.
I'm scared. You're getting me scared now.
Sorry, I was just. But I was going 1-1 because I can see us scoring a goal, and really that would be a great result to take back to the bridge. Since we're and especially since we're in Bucharest. Since we're going to be playing the game in Bucharest in a neutral venue, I think that we can take a result away because, it's not going to be like they have the home leg advantage due to COVID restrictions. So,
No, absolutely. Good commentary from Anu. Anu, thanks for sticking around for the whole stream, my man. Thank you heaps. Choan right wingback squeezes the whole team because he has that unpredictable burst saving us from a transition situation. Yeah, that's exactly why we are sort of more right-sided. Helps us in transition when it comes to defending. Especially in counterattack. So very good comment there. Johnathan, score prediction. We've got Anirudh here saying 3-0 Timo ripping Atletico Madrid. You going with the 3-0 victory? I'll take that. I think we win the tie then.
No, I'm not going to say 3-0. My head is saying 1-1, or I'll try and get it in with the shirts. My head's saying 1-1, but I have a fit. Oh, no, wrong one. I think it might be 2-1. I've just got a sneaky feeling that we may go there and surprise. I hope we come out with an attacking intent and we commit men forward. I hope Tuchel sees this as an opportunity with Atletico Madrid having the makeshift defense and team. Yeah, I want us, I don't want us to be scared. I've talked so often on social media about us taking the game by the scruff of the neck and about being positive and about attacking teams. We've got so much attacking quality. Why not use it? So, yes, tomorrow is a game where 1-1 is a good result. We go back to Stamford Bridge. We can take the game to them there. But part of me, as someone who always enjoys attacking football and being positive, I want to see us go there and win the game. Go out there, win the game. They then had to come to Stamford Bridge with problems and probably still injury issues. Yeah, let's try and wrap this up in the first game. I know it's difficult, but head says 1-1 though. So as much as I'm saying all that, I can certainly. We just need a goal, not too fast. Even if we did lose, like Mark said, and we do lose 2-1, the goal is very important.
Very, very important. Yeah, very important. There was a very good comment earlier on in the stream. Someone said that Thomas Tuchel actually has a good record against Diego Simeone. Last time he played, which was in the last season's Champions League, Thomas Tuchel actually beat Diego Simeone, Atletico Madrid. PSG beat Atletico Madrid. So, hopefully Thomas Tuchel knows exactly how to play Diego Simeone. Different teams, 100%. Got Neymar and Mbappe in that team. We don't have Neymar and Mbappe in our team, but we still have a lot of quality. My prediction, guys, will probably be a 1-1 as well, because Atletico Madrid generally, I know in recent times they've let in goals, but generally they don't let in that many goals. So 1-1, they're going to be resolute. If we can be resolute as well, that'll be great. And if we can get that away goal, 1-1, take it to Stamford Bridge, and anything is possible from there on in. But I do like what Johnathan said. If we can manage to get a victory and get a foothold in this tie, because, let's be honest, the 1-1 is not a fantastic result either, because that would mean Atletico could come, and I don't know if we are good enough to keep a clean sheet against Atletico Madrid. So, if we can get a victory here, I think they'll go a long way. Yeah, Mark, go on.
Sorry to cut you there. I thought it was just interesting because you asked me before how the feeling over here in Spain was, right? Yeah. And I was just Googling, and I've seen in goal.com in the Spanish version, right? They have interviewed Simeone and they've interviewed Savic. Yeah. And they've to Savic, they've asked about Jose Maria Gimenez not being able to play. And what he's saying here is we've been conceding lately, but we have a plan to improve our defense. We're gonna miss Jose Maria, but we're not worried tomorrow. And Simeone has been asked about Luis Suarez not scoring as a visitor, and he said, well, we're playing at Bucharest tomorrow, but feels like home. Asked me this question after the London game.
Oh, no.
So that's the thing that these guys have, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he likes the spotlight, doesn't he? He likes to talk a big game as well, to be fair. He'd be confident. So
he does.
It'd be such an interesting game tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. I do not care about work tomorrow. I just want to get to 8 o'clock. Honestly. If anyone talks to me tomorrow, I'm not interested. I just want to talk about Chelsea. That's it.
Yep. You know what? We've built it up nicely. Guys, hope you've enjoyed that. That was some really good comments right at the end from Mark about the quotes from Savic and Diego Simeone. I think these guys they're ready for a fight. They are coming here for a fight, and we better be ready as well. I feel like sometimes Chelsea in recent times we've lacked that fight. I just want to see that fight back. Especially I remember when we played Ajax last season, that 4-4 comeback, something like that. I don't want a 4-4 situation, but yeah, an attitude
4
like
away
that.
goals. I mean, 4 away goals, Miz. What
yes,
now?
I'll take the 4 away goals. Yes.
I'd take it any day of the week.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much. Live chat has been unbelievable. I've not had this much fun, and I can see everyone nodding their heads how much fun they've had with the live chat. So kudos to everyone that's joined in, and we'll be seeing the stream later down the track as well throughout the day. Please smash that like button, subscribe if you're here new, share it with everyone as also the word goes out there. And you know what? I'm thinking for tomorrow's game, I might do something special. Obviously, I'll have the lads, the lineup, and everyone who are part of the review team. Might even get one of these guys to join as well. But I might do something different. I might allow one of the live chat people to come and join us midway through and give us their reaction. So stay tuned for that. DM me when we do talk about that tomorrow, because it could either go two ways. If it's something really bad, then I may not do this. But if we end up having a positive result, I do want to get someone from the live chat and join us and give us their reaction quickly. I might do maybe a couple of them for for the fans so that they feel part of the show as well. So guys, thank you so much for that. And thank you to every one of you guys that have joined in terms of Johnathan, Patrick, and Mark. To appreciate the time that you've given us. Until next time, everyone. See ya.